Most people think exercise only works after weeks of effort, that the benefits are slow, invisible, and distant. That belief is wrong, and the science that proves it wrong is more remarkable than anything the fitness industry has ever sold you. A landmark study found that measurable, protective changes start happening inside your cardiovascular system within the first 8 to 12 minutes of a single walk. Not after 30 days, not after your third gym session, 8 minutes. But here's the part that changes everything. Most people who walk wrong, too slow, too short, too fragmented. And in doing so, they stop just short of the biological threshold where walking transforms from simple movement into powerful medicine. Today, we're going inside the human body, second by second, and showing you the exact moment your heart stops just pumping and starts adapting. The moment your foot hits the pavement, your body doesn't think, oh, a lovely stroll. Your ancient nervous system fires a signal that says, something is happening, prepare. Within the first 10 seconds, your heart rate climbs. Your adrenal glands release a small pulse of epinephrine, the same molecule that floods your system in moments of sudden alertness. Your brain has sent an emergency signal to every biological department simultaneously. Traffic control, the power grid, the water supply, everything mobilizes at once. By 30 seconds, your muscles are demanding oxygen. They burn through their immediate energy reserves and they need a resupply. Your heart responds by beating harder and faster. Each beat pushes more blood out with greater force. Think of the difference between a garden hose and a fire hose. By minute 2, something extraordinary begins inside your arteries. The inner lining of your blood vessels, a single cell layer called the endothelium, is being physically stimulated by the faster blood flow moving across it. Scientists call this shear stress. And despite the name, this is not damage. This is the best thing that can happen to your cardiovascular system. In response to this shear stress, your endothelial cells begin releasing nitric oxide. If there's one molecule you remember from this video, make it this one. Nitric oxide is the most powerful vasodilator your body produces. It signals the smooth muscles surrounding your blood vessels to relax. The vessels open, blood pressure drops, blood flows more freely to every tissue. Your heart works less hard to deliver the same amount of oxygen. Your brain gets better circulation. Your organs receive better nutrition. A 2021 study found that even a single 10-minute brisk walk boosted the enzyme that produces nitric oxide for up to 90 minutes after the walk ended. You walk for 10 minutes and your arteries stay in a healthier, more relaxed state for an hour and a half afterward. This isn't a distant benefit. This is happening inside you on every single walk you take, as long as you do it correctly. Now, let's talk about the moment most people never reach. Minutes 8 through 12. For the first 7 minutes of a walk, your body is reacting to movement. It's keeping up, responding, managing. But somewhere between minutes 8 and 12 of sustained walking at the right intensity, a biological threshold is crossed. Your body shifts from being reactive to being adaptive. And the difference is not subtle. Reactive means your heart is just coping with the demand. Adaptive means your heart is learning, restructuring itself at the cellular level to handle this load more efficiently next time, and more efficiently every time after that. Specifically, your body begins producing a protein called VEGF, or vascular endothelial growth factor. This protein does something that should genuinely astonish you. It grows new blood vessels, not metaphorically, literally. A 2020 paper in Cell Metabolism described this process as angiogenic priming. A single walk of the right duration and intensity plants the biological seed for a more robust, more resilient cardiovascular network. Your heart isn't just a pump. It's a self-renovating infrastructure project, and walking is the construction crew. But there is a critical condition, and this is where millions of people are unknowingly wasting their time. Intensity matters. A leisurely stroll, phone in hand, comfortable pace, keeps your heart rate in zone 1. It's better than sitting, but it will not trigger VEGF production. It will not remodel your cardiovascular system. It will not cross that adaptive threshold. You need zone 2. The test for this is simple. You can still hold a conversation, but you'd rather not. You're slightly breathless. You can feel the effort. For most adults, this is roughly 100 to 130 beats per minute, depending on age and fitness level. Think of it like a river. A slow trickle of water doesn't reshape the river bed, but a sustained, purposeful current carves new channels. Zone 2 is that current. A major 2023 meta-analysis in The Lancet found that brisk walkers had a 24% lower risk of cardiovascular death compared to slow walkers, regardless of their total step count. Steps alone are not the answer. Purposeful pace is. Now let me show you what happens when you stack these walks consistently. Because this is where short-term biology becomes long-term transformation. After just 7 days of consistent brisk walking, your resting heart rate begins to drop. Your heart is already becoming more efficient, pumping the same amount of blood with less effort. After 21 days, the wall of your heart's main pumping chamber becomes more flexible, filling with blood more completely on each cycle. It's literally becoming a better pump. After 6 weeks, a study published in the journal Circulation found that previously sedentary adults showed a 15% improvement in arterial health and a 9-point drop in systolic blood pressure. That is comparable to the effect of some antihypertensive medications from walking. But here is the finding that I find most remarkable. A 2020 study in JAMA Internal Medicine measured the biological age of brisk walkers versus slow walkers using telomere length, the protective caps on your chromosomes that shorten with age and stress. Brisk walkers had a biological age 16 years younger than slow walkers. 16 years, not from running marathons, not from hours in the gym, from walking briskly, consistently, at the right intensity. Every step at zona pace is a signal to your chromosomes that this body is still active, still vital, still worth maintaining. Your DNA is listening to every walk you take. So what's the minimum effective dose? What does the science actually prescribe? 3 things. Duration, at least 10 to 12 continuous minutes without stopping. Fragmented steps don't accumulate the same cardiovascular benefit. Your body needs a sustained signal to cross that adaptive threshold. Intensity, zone 2. Slightly breathless, conversational, but effortful. This is the intensity that triggers nitric oxide release, VEGF production, and cardiovascular remodeling. Below this, you're just moving. At this level, you're adapting, and frequency, 5 days per week to achieve compounding benefits. The cardiovascular adaptations from one walk begin to fade after 48 hours. If they're not reinforced, consistency isn't a motivational concept here. It's a biological requirement. That's the complete protocol. 10 to 12 minutes, slightly breathless, 5 days a week. It triggers new blood vessel growth. It remodels your heart. It protects your chromosomes. It measurably reduces your risk of cardiovascular disease. And it costs nothing except the willingness to make the effort count. Let me close with the image that stays with me from all of this research. Somewhere between minute 7 and minute 8 of your next walk, your body will make a decision. A quiet biological decision that happens below awareness, below sensation, below anything you can feel in the moment. It will decide whether this is just movement or whether this is medicine. That decision depends entirely on whether you are still walking at minute 8, whether the pace is right, whether the signal is strong enough to cross the threshold. The walk doesn't save your heart at minute 30, it saves it at minute 8. But you only get to minute 8 if you show up for minute 7. Go walk. Your cardiovascular system is waiting. Thanks for watching.